What'd you say? Hello, good people. Hello, hello, hello. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is Dr. Kelly's Perspective with IRA again. And so, for those of you who are joining us, you see that I entitled this, When Do You Stop? And, hey, Barbara's already on.
Oh, my goodness. She needs help.
So, the question becomes, when do you stop? And I'm talking about, in particular, parenting. When does our role as parenting stop? How grown do they have to be? Hey, Dr. Moore. How grown do they have to be before you transition from parenting or transition your money?
Oh, is that a question for me? That's a tricky question.
Why?
Well, all depends on when they started parenting.
I'm talking about, what are you talking about?
Some parents don't parent until too late. Some parents
good point.
don't parent until crises come
Jerry.
up.
Brother, you are deep. That is good.
Don't do that.
I mean, that's pretty good.
It's true. Well, I mean, you can't. It's kind of hard to tighten up if you've never been tight. It's easier to loosen up if you've been tight. For instance, like us. I mean, we try to keep a control, basically a controlled rein on the girls. And as a matter of fact, we're talking about our girls with a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old. And the question is, when do we stop? I don't think we ever stop parenting. We go more into an advisory capacity. But when I say stop parenting, also mean that financially, when they're too grown to guide.
Okay.
Too grown to guide means that my financial obligation is over. I don't support grown people. I don't.
Okay, now see, talking about keeping it real. Hey, Zedric and Margaret. Okay, so, thank you, Dr. Moore. Listen, okay, so I don't know if this is a gender thing, a man and woman, a mom and dad thing, but see, this is why I'm so grateful to have Ira as my partner doing this thing, because I already know. We had this discussion about when does it stop. And,
three this morning.
Yeah, it was pretty early. It was pretty early this morning. And I am inclined to, give a transition period financially. Like, okay, after you come out of college, you got a good year that we'll continue paying for things.
I totally disagree.
And he disagrees
I
with that.
totally disagree with that. It really depends on the child. Let's just use ours for example. We have two. One that's working on a BA. The other is working on a master's. And if she's working on a master's and she has a couple of jobs and basically she's enjoying adulthood with limited responsibility, and she has short range goals. If those short range goals involve leaving and going somewhere to another state, being responsible, it's time to start cutting the reins so she can start knowing how to manage her own money.
Okay, and I agree
Not
with
manage
that.
my
Hey,
money.
Bridget. Not money.
No, I'm not supporting a grown up in another state. I just won't do that.
See, I understand that. I really do. Bridget said, hey.
He says.
I do understand that, but my heart. But this is why I appreciate him so much, and I think God was just so brilliant. That's too low of a word, to come up with this plan called a mom and a dad, because we have different perspectives on that. I would be inclined to, okay, well, let's just help a little while longer. Let's stretch it out a little while longer, even though I can see the downfall to that. I do see.
There is a downfall.
Yeah,
it's
see
called
grown
enabling.
folks.
It's called enabling. Really, I mean, I don't care. I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
No, I am doing that. I'm saying
it's just.
But my heart hurt. This is why
Mine
you need
doesn't.
to.
No. You figure like that. You parent from the child from the womb to babies to preteens to teens. We have young adults. We've been parenting and providing financial responsibility. It comes a time. Go sit down. Talking to the dog.
That was the dog.
What was I?
Adonis threw you off. You parent through babies, toddlers, adult, or teenage years.
we're all relationships and families are not created equal. I know that we've done this all of their life, and we've been financially responsible for them for up to the 19 and 20, 21 years, and they're growing up, and it's time for them to learn how to spend and manage their own money.
Not yours.
There comes a time that only you know where you need to draw the line. I'm not going to spend my retirement money on a grown-up.
No, I'm not either.
I'm not doing that.
I'm
not doing
Carrie
that.
said she didn't know she'd see this day, but she's on Team IRA with this one. I'm just saying, I think that's how sometimes we get into trouble when we don't have a whole village surrounding us, because it would be too easy to enable. And I really don't want my girls at 30 years old in my house with me.
That won't happen.
They don't want to be in the house either, but I don't want them in my pocket at 30 either.
No, that won't happen either. I'm not trying to be a hard butt. I just believe that only the mom and the dad know when it's time to draw the line in the sand.
But what if, okay, because this is real, what if I say, don't draw it yet, don't draw it, and you saying, we have
to come to an understanding. And I have to explain to you why, and you either accept it or you don't, but regardless, we have to make a decision together, because only we can make that decision.
Yeah.
But we've been pretty good at making decisions like that together, and I love my girls. I mean, we have provided for them, we've given them the world, but it's time to push them off the cliff.
Oh Lord Jesus!
I want to see if they can fly.
Okay, yeah, they need to get out of the nest.
I mean, they make mistakes sometimes. I mean,
they do.
My baby made a mistake one time. She said, "Daddy, I don't ask you for anything." I said, "What are you driving? Where'd you get that phone? Who's paying that insurance? Who filled that car with gas?" They forget about that. Yeah, but not here.
Well,
I'm going to teach them.
They don't forget too long, because this brother right here.
I'm not trying to be mean.
Dr. Moore said, "I love you, Dr. Keller, but I agree with the hubby."
No, I'm not trying to be mean. I love my babies, and
I do. I cut you off.
You cut me off. I don't have
no
problem.
But see, this is what I'm saying. This is why it takes two minds. It takes two perspectives. It takes two sets of experiences to do this thing, because I can at times say, Ira, that's too much. Like that conversation you were going to have, I say, we need to soften that.
Change it a little bit. And I respect that.
And he did. He respected that. And then on this one, he had to work me over.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Okay, but that's why it takes two. That's why it takes a village.
And
they will learn to fly when you push them off the cliff. Carlos just said those words. That's Barbara.
I love my children.
Yeah.
I love the young women that they're growing into, but believe me, they have no idea how tough it is out there until they've actually taken a bite out of their own responsibilities. Because, like, I love my babies.
I know that hurts. Intellectually. I know that.
It hurts to see that her pocket's empty, but by me letting her pockets get empty, she'll know that, hey, I have to learn to fend for myself. I remember years ago, my father, one of the most awesome men in the world. I was 18 years old, and I had a nice car, and I went to him one day on a Friday, and I said, "Dad," I said, my brakes are bad. He said, "Go out there and park the car, put it on Jackson, take the wheels off." And take the wheels off. He said, "Now go pull the brakes off." I said, "Okay." And I did this. Okay. He said, "Now," he said, "I hope you remember how to take them off, how you took them off, because now you have to go buy the brake pads and put them back on." I grew up that day. I said, you know what? I have to learn. I cannot sit back and wait on my parents to make everything happen for me. You know, it made me appreciate my dad more. That instant, he could have jumped off a cliff and I wouldn't have given a damn. But I was just, it's just a word.
Hey, Bridget, hey.
It's a word. But it made me grow up. And my mom, at 17, she said, "Son, I love you. You'll never be hungry, but you can't live here." I mean, they have to learn to fly.
And I know that, like I said, I know that intellectually, but this is the beauty of parenting together. I wrote a blog on that. This week's blog was on doing this thing together. When we present a united front, And you know, so we got to work all that out behind closed doors so that when we come out, we have a united front. And I'm not talking, well, I would, but your daddy said, okay, no, we ain't doing that.
Right. Remember, you can tell them what we said too. Anytime we pass information on to them, we don't say, I said, you said.
Yeah, we always come as, look, this is what we've decided. So he don't always have to be the bad guy. I don't have to be the bad lady. I'm with Ira. It's hard as a mom. It is. But I know that to enable them after a certain point creates something that we don't want. We, you know, I think that God has blessed us enough and surrounded us with enough people that helped raise these girls into beautiful young women. And
the village. Yeah.
The village. And so, you know, not tomorrow, but they about to get dropped out.
And you had a hard time charging her rent.
Okay, all right, we don't have to go into
No, but
everything.
that's all a part. It is. I told Holly, Aziza has, no, excuse me, our daughter has a couple of jobs. I said, charge her rent. I said, I don't want the money. At least when she leaves here, she'll have something put aside that we put aside for her that we're going to give back to her. Yeah. I'm not going to send her out there without any money, without anything like that. But we have to teach her. Well, you can't, if you haven't been teaching, if you haven't been involved, you can't start the last minute and say, well, now I'm going to cut you off if you've never been on with them. So this has been an ongoing process with us their entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, even from going to restaurants as young girls. I mean, they've ever since 3 or 4, they've never sat with us.
Right.
They had their own tables, ordering their own foods, preparing them for this day.
That's true. That's true. So when we say it like that, they're prepared. They're prepared.
Yeah, they are. Ziza's a hustler, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Both our girls, they're prepared and.
Yes.
Whew. Hey, Miss Sharon.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ira. We wanted to share that because, you know, we do this thing together, even if we got to work out the glitches behind closed doors, so that we can come out as a united front.
Let's say one thing. There's no book on parenting.
Oof.
You write the book.
All right. Well, I guess that brother is signing off with that.
Okay. That's the truth.
No, that's good. That's good. We have a Bible as a foundation, and after that, these individuals, that's on us to figure this thing out. Okay. Thank you for all who are joining with us. Share the video, and until next time, take real good care of yourselves.